Okay, we have Bryan Insurance in the studio with Sonia and Brad Bryan, and y'all are going to do our insurance tip of the week. Hi, y'all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all today?
I'm good, but I have to ask, so Rick, is he sleeping in yet?
No, not yet.
I told you, I knew he wouldn't. I knew he
I mean,
wouldn't.
he's waking up at 4, going back to sleep, and getting up a couple hours later.
Well, we do miss him. He's going to come in today and help us with our remote today. He's
Yeah.
going to run the board while Christian and I are out at the McDonald's.
That's what I heard, so, yeah.
All right, what do y'all have for us this week?
Well, we're going to talk about a topic that we hear about at our agency all the time, and we've talked about it before, but a little bit different twist here on it. The subject is certificates of insurance.
That's correct.
Yes.
It's but mostly just the pitfalls that you can run into with gathering certificates or when people are sending them out on your behalf.
So first of all, just a little education. A certificate of insurance, we're talking about a commercial lines policy,
Okay.
and it is a form that is a snapshot of the coverage that that business has that day that the certificate was issued. So it'll have their name, their agent's name, their insurance companies, the different policies that they have, the different limits of liability, that type of thing. So that's what that is. And they're usually provided if that business is going to be a subcontractor or do some work for another business and they need to prove what kind of insurance, or they've signed a master service agreement that they're going to work under another business, and so they're proving what kind of insurance they have. So in a nutshell, that's what a certificate is. It's proof of your insurance. It doesn't give any rights to anybody. It doesn't give, there's a certificate holder at the bottom, but it doesn't, according to the form, it doesn't convey any rights to that certificate holder. Now, we know that in some cases it does, but that's a whole different subject. But in a nutshell, it is a picture of what insurance they have that day. So that's what it is.
Right. So what all brought this up was I had 2 clients come to us and they brought us their insurance with their certificates. And I was I was reviewing them all that. I got so excited because they had what we call symbol 1s on autos, any auto on their policy. I was like, heck yeah, there's another company out there writing these.
A symbol 1, that's very broad liability coverage. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
the
most
broadest that you
broad
can.
liability coverage.
So I called up that company. I was like, yes, I want to be representing you guys. I want to start selling this auto policy. I want what these people have so I can start offering it to my clients, because we have other carriers, but you can never have too many. So I got on the phone, called the company, and they were a little hesitant to tell me they don't write that. They don't even write the coverage below that. They write the coverage called scheduled autos, and they had no idea what this lady was doing putting this on a certificate. So this is where it brought up the insurance tip of the week was, just because the certificate says it, verify it. Because I was excited as an insurance agent to see another company writing this broadest form of auto coverage, yet it was untrue.
So if I could clarify first, for someone who doesn't know much about so let's put it in my terms. That'll make it simplest. If someone shows you a certificate, that you need to double check on that.
You need to
make sure they have the coverage they say they have.
That's correct.
All right, well, that makes sense. That's a good tip.
And on this particular case, we don't think that the client even knew, the person who that certificate belonged to, we don't think they knew they didn't have the coverage.
They didn't have a clue.
They didn't have a clue. Their agent put the wrong information on the certificate, and they didn't know. Nobody knew. And so, but why is that a problem, you ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, do you want to start or you want me to start?
Go for it.
Okay. If they're working for you, if you've hired them as a subcontractor, it's a big problem for you. And how do you know? Well, sometimes it doesn't hurt to spot check. If you're a general contractor or oil lease operator or what have you, and you're hiring people to work under you, spot check and ask for copies of policies occasionally. It doesn't. You have a right to do that. They don't have to give you their premiums or a lot of personal information, but ask to spot check that. And then, because it really matters, if you're thinking that they have this coverage and there's an accident and they didn't have it, then what do you do?
Right.
Okay. And if you are the client who that certificate belongs to, well, it may sound all well and good, well, it got me through, it met the requirements of the MSA, it didn't. If you sign an MSA, a master service agreement,
Right.
you're agreeing to provide everything in that master service agreement, whether your insurance backs it up or not. So that master service agreement is not a contract between the insurance company, it's a contract between the person signing it and the person issuing it. And so you could be in a world of hurt if there's a big gap between what insurance you purchased versus what insurance you actually were supposed to have. And we've seen instances of that with lawsuits, not necessarily on the simple one, but
Right.
on some other things where they agreed to have, say, pollution coverage, or they agreed to have this or that, they didn't have it, and so it was on them to reimburse.
How do you get a hold of yourself? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
To get a hold of us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess this is my turn.
Yeah.
You should have it memorized by
Exactly. And I won't say the wrong building this time. So we're the second floor of the Sierra Bank building, or you can call us at 940-549-2525, or visit us online at brianins.com.
Very good. Sonia, Brad, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We'll see you next
Thank
week.
you.
All right.